Welcome to the show, Terry O'Neill, a powerhouse of entertainment, law, labor advocacy, and independent production. You are a UCLA history graduate. You began your journey in the Screen Actors Guild, rising to the head of the Music Entertainment Contracts Department. Your work shaped the rights and working conditions of singers and dancers across the industry, from writing the definitive music handbook to negotiating landmark agreements. In the year 2000, you founded TT&T Entertainment, later expanding into film production and location consultancy. There's a ton of stuff to talk about with you, Terry. Thank you so much for joining us. And please do tell us more.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me on the show. This is a
Yeah,
good thing. So I'm good to have that. And I'm speaking to you from Southern California. I want to say sunny, but I'm not sure today is sunny. So, but
Mhm.
it's
yeah,
it's a great day nonetheless. And what I do now presently, I move to what we do streaming for the streaming services, the
Right.
distribution. The name of the company is SAG-AFTRA, an industry sound recording distribution fund. And what we do, we collect and distribute funds to singers. It's a very, very niche group.
Mm.
It works with the
cool.
four major labels, and those four labels are signatory to the SAG-AFTRA sound recording agreement, as well as independent groups are also that are signed signatory. We collect those royalties, and we do a once a year distribution. This year, distribution was close in the area of a little bit more than $25 million. And we had over
Yeah,
3,000 people that we actually do. So we still look for people. Unlike in when I worked on the SAG side of things,
Mm.
the performer came in and they filed a complaint. And then we went after to get their monies. On this side, it's different.
right.
The monies are here, and we have to find the
Right.
performers to
Yeah.
whom we're going to do. So sometimes that can be difficult
Mm.
because when you
Okay.
call someone a cold call and say to Skyler, "Hi, Skyler, this is Terry O'Neill calling from SRDF. I need this information from you. I need your driver's license. I need this information. Complete this form." And nine times out of ten, if the call come from us, like, well, who are you? Why am I giving you this information? And then we can't tell you the amount of monies that are due you simply because there are taxes. And we wouldn't know that the amount is correct. So that's one of the challenges, but we
Mm.
begin to get around those as well.
Yeah.
So
Challenging.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a service.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good though. And as I said, we deal with recordings only that are recorded in the US in order to claim if you worked on a particular recording, and it's only background singers. So it's very, very niche. It's a very niche thing.
Yeah.
And if we do licensing, foreign licensing as well as domestic license, and at that point we do include feature artists, music videos. We just
Right.
expanded to do feature
Yeah.
artists. Again, the singers are involved in that as well, but we also have that dancers and stunt and actors that are
Yeah.
included in that. So we're constantly expanding, and this all comes through negotiations.
It's wonderful to hear that somebody, well, singers have support and songwriters as well, right?
What we don't do with songwriters, perhaps, I mean, we don't deal with them, but we deal with the singers, only the singers
Yeah.
that are the background singers.
You know when I went to go see Motown when I was 10 years old and I saw the Supremes come out. Then I saw Smokey Robinson come out. Then I saw Stevie Wonder come out. Then I saw the Four Tops come out, right? At no time did they break down the band. It was the same band they called the Funk Brothers, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it was a trip because uh, every one of those talents sound totally just they're they're different. Every one of them never sound the same, you know. And that's what we got to look for these days too. Somebody that understands their own sound,
Right.
instead of trying to trying to mimic somebody else and all that kind of stuff.
And
But
that's create
that's
uniqueness
what
of
I'm
that.
teaching.
That's needed. I think also along with that is a level of development of that artist because I would say you help that artist to understand where his voice is, so to say, and where their musical voice, even more so, and how they actually
Yeah.
use that voice to do other things to expand. Because I think many times people don't understand their voice. They may be great singers, come from the church, great singers, but are you really understanding your that vocal voice and the uniqueness of it to be able to develop it and become something even better?
The most important thing you said was yours.
Hmm.
If you don't even recognize what yours is, your sound is different. That when I'm producing young singers, man, I don't want you to listen to the radio for 2 months before you come to me. I don't want to hear who you trying to sound like. I want to hear what's going on inside of you.
Right,
You know what I mean? And
right.
it's working because now I got these young people writing these positive songs, right? And they got their own twist on it. But I'm always looking for that, like you said, that one unique voice, right?
Yes, yes.
It just stands out. When I lived there in Hollywood for 8 years, it was funny because all the A&R people and all those people, they, if somebody would come from another state or whatever to come there to Hollywood, and they go, well, who do you sound like? Oh, we sound like these guys. Well, we already got that. What else you got? You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And so you want to sound different if you're over there. You don't want to, if they go, what's your sound like? We sound like us. Okay?
That's the real point right there. Because as you stated, who do you sound like? And then that person tells you who they sound like. Well, you just ruled yourself out because we already have
Got
this
one of
here.
them.
So
Yeah.
we sound like
We already
ourselves.
got
We're
that. What
unique.
else? Well, don't say that in LA, whatever you say,
Correct. Correct. You're
What's your
right.
music like? Like me. Me. Ain't like nobody else, right? That's what
That's
they
right.
want to hear.
And
So so now this is music for global change. And I gotta ask you, who is some of your favorite social conscious music artists?
Gil Scott Heron was one of them. And he's like really the pivotal one that I want to talk more of him because I think it was the first time I went to see him, I was in college. And I just think that what he brought to the table really made me think.
Yeah,
And it wasn't just it was just really the consciousness. It went to the core of my conscious. And when I walked away with a renewed thought process on how I look at things. Even so, the whole spectrum of music, it really gave me a whole new shot. And that's the person. That would be, yes,
Yeah.
so you went to go see him. Did you see Brian Jackson, the keyboard player?
I did. I know who he is. I
Okay,
don't,
that
yeah, yes. But I saw him
he used
at
to be,
UCLA at student years ago when I was a student there.
he was married to my sister for 10
Oh,
years.
what? Okay.
Mhm.
So I saw some of the same concerts you talk about, right? And but Gil Scott was he he was before rap, you know.
Yes, yes, yes.
And they played like jazz underneath him. Excuse me. They played jazz music underneath this form of rap. But like I said, man, he was a rebel.
Yes.
His music was rebel,
And he wasn't afraid
like Marvin
to,
Gaye.
yes, yes, very much so. I would
Marvin
say
Gaye,
that.
you know what I'm saying? And John Lennon, when he wrote Imagine, what he was saying was Imagine Peace, right?
Correct.
Why they get killed for that shit? You know what I'm saying? So social conscious music, man, I've been doing this now for 20 years. And man, it's so liberating because I'm not talking about myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about how we can heal and just educate and solve problems using music with any kind of instrument from everywhere. So I'm over here on this side, man, traveling. I'm going to these different countries, man. I'm playing, singing around these different instruments, with some of their artists on it. That's music for global change right there, man. If we can, intersect with each other, and because we got the internet now. We don't have to wait on anybody else no more. You know,
That's
record
right.
companies can't record companies can't stop us from, collaborating with each other all over the world, man.
Well, it's very
And that's
real
how you
time.
bring them in.
Mhm. It's very real time,
Right
and
now.
yeah, right now, right now.
Yeah,
So yes, and I think that's key to the success of many, but it's also to anything within any type of social change or movement. In this instant, global change, you can touch the whole world in a matter of seconds,
that's
and
exactly.
that's key. That's really key. Yes,
That's
yes,
key. So my thing is to get all the social conscious music. Well, I'm doing positive social conscious, uplifting, right?
right.
Get all of them songs going, right? And then when I throw on my festivals, people come out and hear some music that got them excited, before they left there.
Right.
You ain't talking about your baby, you ain't none of that kind of. You talking about how we go help each other get out of this crab bucket together. You know what I'm saying?
That it's funny that you use that metaphor, the crab bucket. Growing up in the deep south, it was one of those things that you always heard, that crab bucket, where that person
Yeah.
always trying to pull you down, as opposed to working together, as instead of the pull down, be the shoulder that someone can stand on, and you reach back and pull them out. I think that's key. I like that metaphor. I really like it. Yes.
But today, man, see, like I said, we got the internet, and we don't have to wait on anybody anymore.
Hmm.
We can sell our music directly to each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's where this industry has come to today. It's like you got to market yourself. You got to brand yourself. You know,
And that has
and
always, that
it
has now been a segue into the labels signing an artist. If you got 10 million followers or 2 million or how many followers you have, that's guaranteed for a company to come and say, I'm going to give you all the distribution you need because you're bringing something to the table.
Yeah.
And what most people are failing to do is to really leverage what they're bringing to the table.
Mm.
that's right. That's right. I mean,
Mhm.
he who owns the content
Yes.
is king.
Hmm.
If
Yes.
you own the content, everybody else is making money off of what you created,
Hmm.
but never cheat yourself. You know what I'm saying? You created the content. When you walk in, you own 100%. When you walk out of there, how much did you leave on the table? That shows how good of a businessman you are. Because
That's
like I
correct.
said, you had the content.
Yes.
Without that, can't nobody you know. So that's what I tell musicians all the time. Man, start creating your own. You can play with everybody else in the neighborhood for as long as you want, but you're never going to get to the next level until you create some content.
Right. Right. And that's key. That is really key because having that content goes into, it's just into perpetuity. As long as that is alive and doing something, you're still able to generate from it. And you can take that content of that music that you've written and do it. It goes into other markets, which create another stream of income. And I think when there is an education to music, not just learning to say, oh, this is C, D, E, F, G, or all cows eat grass, or every good boy does fine, learning what the notes are. I think it's the real business of it. How you learn to be a businessman and manage your, or businesswoman, learning to involve yourself in your day-to-day work and making sure that it goes and learning, creating the worth of who you are and your music. I think that's just, those things merge together, and I think that that's what they need. And sometimes the people who make the music tend not to, they leave it to someone else to do it. Or if someone else does it,
There you go.
you need to learn to check up on it, audit them to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. And if that person knows that you are doing what you're supposed to do to keep them what they need to do, they'll do a better job.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everyone wins. Yes,
Well, I like so many years, I couldn't trust anybody. So, which means you got to do it yourself, right?
correct.
And between me and the internet, I've built music for global change, and it's a wonderful thing because the people that are inspired by it are partaking in it. They're writing social conscious songs. That's most beautiful to me is that I can inspire people to go write some more social conscious because there's been 192 million published social conscious songs, over 5 billion love songs. And when I said, do we need another love song? We need what are you 5 billion, right? What hasn't been said? You know what I mean?
Right,
Oh, it's
right.
amazing. Tom?
Well, I've got loads of questions for you, Terry. I mean, first of all, I think it's worth a question is, what advice would you give to a background artist that you would be dealing with if they perhaps were unaware of any kind of pending royalties, or even if they are aware of some, and how they would go about actually claiming that? Is there something you would sort of instantly say, right, the first thing you must do is keep track of this, or this, or how would you of advice? What advice would you give to them?
Good question. And that's one of the reasons why many artists are not credited as background art is because they fail the most key thing, and that is a session report.
Right,
Whenever you go to a session, it is important that you record that session. Now, whether it's a union session or non-union, we prefer a union session, but anyway, we call it on the card.
Of
That's making
course.
sure that you have that paperwork. Therefore, if it's used any other time, especially when it comes down to where we are at the level we're at, because once it starts being streamed and we have no information, having that session report, if we'll know who to credit for that.
right,
Say you're the only person on it. Say, for instance, it's a key song behind some major group. Say it's an Adele song, and you're the only background artist on that song. And from streaming, that song got $100,000, and no one recorded or have any session report to know. We know there was a background singer, and say it was not credited in the liner notes or the liner notes, and we couldn't find it in metadata or anything else. Then that stays open. That's $100,000 out there. But
mm,
if you're the only person who was the background singer, that $100,000 is yours. You're now being credited as that person for that. So having a session report, asking the right questions, the
mm,
producer, when you go in, you ask that producer, do you have a session report? But I recommend that whoever's going to a session is to call the union and get a session report, go online, complete that session report, have the producer sign off it at the end,
mm.
and then that person will be credited as it moves to the different streams of revenue. That's the piece of paper that continues to follow through.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's not automatic then. That would be given. Is it automatic that it would be given to an artist, or is it something they would need to ask for?
They need to ask for it. It's not automatic at all because the label may call the producer and
Right.
say, I need this is we're having a session. We're having an Adele session tonight. We need a singer. We need a couple of singers. And they called these particular singers. These singers would then come and they would sing. Now, usually those they may be cleared through the union that this is it. If they're seasoned artists,
Mm,
then they know exactly what to do.
yeah.
If they're not seasoned, then they're really happy to be on the session. They're just so happy to be there and they don't ask any questions.
Sure.
Years later, I sang on that and I never got any credit for it. So that session report
Yeah,
is the paperwork that would keep it going.
Yeah.
crucial.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I've been on over 2,500 records, right?
Right.
Not all of them successful, but a lot of them are, right? and it's a trip being in the session when it happens, and then watch the money that's made from it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I like on the Titanic, man. When I watched that money, I was blown away because Celine made $52 million that year. She was just a performer,
Mm.
you know,
Yep.
just a performer. So you can imagine what the songwriters made, right? Never have to work, never have
Yeah.
to go to work again off
Mhm.
one song, off one song.
Mm.
And that
So that's
that
why I've
does
been.
happen. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's happened, and I've been a part of it, man. And it just sent me into writing crazy after that. I went crazy writing, you know. When I found that song I was on made all that money, right?
Right.
Will Jennings and James Horner, what kind of money they made? If she made 52 million, you can only imagine what kind of money
Yeah.
Will Jennings and James
James
Horner.
Horner. Yeah. Good guy. Yeah. James
But
Horner,
what I mean,
quite
one
a
song,
composer. One song can really make a big difference. It really
yeah,
can, especially as that. And that song goes into different markets. There's a reuse fee that it goes into another market. It may be on the album. It may be actually made for the movie. And then there's an album, a soundtrack that's released behind that, and it's on that soundtrack. Then
yeah,
it may be picked up. Someone may like that song and use it. Maybe use as your telephone ringer. It may be used as elevator music. It may be used in other different
Yeah.
uh, areas of where music can be used. And each time that there's a reuse, that triggers a fee. It may be streamed just over in different areas, and it may be someone may use it in a commercial somewhere. There are so many other uses, or maybe used in a movie, maybe the outtake of the credits, maybe the intake of the credits. It may be different things there, or going to commercial. It be used in a lot of ways, and
Sure.
those each one of those uses is triggers a money to that person.
Mm.
So
So
that's
tell
why
me,
that. Yes, I'm
now,
sorry.
do you play music?
I do. I do.
What
I
do you
I
play?
I I play the saxophone and clarinet, and I also sing.
There you go. So you know what it is,
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, and I can relate to it
and you
as
perform.
firsthand. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That's why with my under my umbrella, I'm gonna pay the creators 80%. I just need the 20 to keep it going, right? But because I'm a writer too, and if you create the content, nobody should ever make more money than you. I believe in that, you know.
And there's like you, the
So
creator, you write the music, you also sing on it, you play an instrument on it. You have different streams of income there.
Mm.
Uh, so the key thing is to be able to create those different streams of income, because the key thing of all that, you the writer, you own this, and it goes forward. And every time it's used, you are definitely be paid. And that's I think that is the life of the music and the life of the person who enjoy doing music. And they're complementary.
yeah,
So yes. Hmm.
yeah. That's how that stuff happens, man. But with my movement, Music for Global Change movement, I'm connecting singers from the States with producers, music producers over here, and vice versa, right? So they
Right.
collaborate with each other, and I've been doing a lot of stuff in Portugal and Ghana, and and just linking them up with different people that I know.
Right.
You get to open up this umbrella of all these. You telling all your friends, hey, meet my friend Skyler, right? Well, people are inquisitive. Well, who is Skyler, right? And then you gotta, if you send them somewhere, like my Chinese buddy said, he said, well, what's your website? And he says, your website is your store.
Yeah.
Don't never send them there
Right.
unless you got something stocked up and ready to go, right?
Right.
I got pens, I got t-shirts. You know what I mean? I got
Right.
records. What you want, right? Right?
That's
That's your
right.
store. And so you go pull them over there. make it to be exciting, you know what I mean, and keep it moving. And wow, it's so fun to see like all these people we've been having on the show, man. Are just so amazing, at their own right, you know. And you get to come on and tell your journey. How'd you get here? You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah,
a lot of people out there going, "Whoa, man, I feel like that's happening with me." You know what I mean?
right.
So it's wonderful. Tell me something. So, uh, what's your next venture?
Um, After I retire, after I retire
Oh,
is
you
more.
want to tell me?
In 2 years, I hope to retire in 2 years.
Wow.
I'll be 67
Yeah,
years old in 2 years. So that's that's my goal is to maybe do more
that's yeah.
in the agency realm of things, is to actually promote and give sort of what you're talking about. I like to develop artists. I
Mm.
think that nowadays less is gone. Motown had a sound. Motown had developed its
Yeah.
artists, and those artists lived up to that creed, and it made a difference. They did. You don't. They respected the entity for which they worked, and
Mm.
then they also respected themselves foremost and their group. And so you see that continuing to move on, but we don't have that any longer. And I think that that's something that I will go back to, is developing the artist. And as you stated earlier, learning their voice. What is your musical voice?
Mm.
What makes you unique? I'm not here to see who you can sound like. That's mimicking. I want
Who
someone
makes
who can do their thing. Yes.
yes? Well, what makes your sound? See, that's what I love about Sade because she doesn't have a large range or nothing like that, but she stays right in the middle of her groove.
Hmm.
And no matter what instrument you put with her voice, you know it's Sade.
Right. Another
There's
person
singers like
remind me,
Stevie
Dionne
Wonder.
Warwick. Dionne Warwick had that. She didn't have a large range, but
Mm.
she operated within her range and she did
Right.
it well. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Uh, Seth Riggs, this very
Yes.
prominent vocal
Yes.
teacher over here.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know,
I
he's,
have a lot of friends.
he has this thing called speech level singing,
Hmm.
right? And that's pretty cool. If you learn your own tone
Mm.
and your sound, and then build on that. You know what
Yes.
I mean? But you got to get these kids to stop listening to each other because you can tell they are when they do a lick. Oh, I just heard that with this other group. You know what I'm saying? They all studying each other. Stop doing that. Study your own sound. I lived there. I lived there in Hollywood for 8 years. I remember all
Yeah.
the all the A&R guys because we was going out to parties every night. That's why I couldn't get nothing done. Hey man, we going over here. Gonna be some skirts over there. All kind of stuff every
Okay.
night, and you can never get nothing done.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But listen, brother, thank you for the privilege of your time today.
Yeah. Thanks,
Well,
Terry.
thank you for
Mm.
having me. It's nice chatting with you all. It was
Mm.
great, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's
All right.
wonderful. And Tom's gonna Tom's gonna get all your information so we can spread the love.
All right.
Mm.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Tom.
Yeah, just yeah, Terry. Basically, just so our viewers and listeners can maybe check out what you're doing, what kind of things you're up to. Is there any kind of social media or website details you can give us to what you're doing or what you plan to do that we can pop on the bottom of the video here and they can go and
I
check it
am
out.
Well, currently I'm using my own. I don't have a website at this point. And the reason why I don't is because I'm preparing some things. I'm coming out with
Okay.
something very new in terms of the movie industry and some things I want to do. So
Mm.
that right now is under construction.
Okay.
And that's something that we want to do because I'm changing a whole new direction
Fair
in the
enough.
next 2 years once I retire.
All right.
So yeah.
So, I mean, in that sense, then, what sort of
Yeah.
how can people get in touch with you? Is there any kind of
Yeah.
social media stuff that we can keep?
Yes, they can reach me. Well, they can reach me at Barnett O'Neill, B as in boy, ARNETTEONEAL at gmail.com.
Okay.
Barnett happens to be my middle name. It's
Fair enough.
so
Oh,
Terry is my first. My mother gave us
there you
a,
go.
Fair enough.
yeah.
Oh, all right then. Brilliant.
And
All
they
right,
can
well,
reach me there, and what they need to know about music, what I'm doing, the things that are upcoming, and some of the things I want to do, they can call me, email me there, and we'll be able to go forward.
yeah. All right, Terry. Brilliant. Thank you.
Any other?
Yeah, bless up,
Otherwise,
brother.
all
Thank you
right.
so
Thank
much.
you. All right.
Thanks for
All
joining.
right.
Good
Continue
talking.
to
All right.
rise. All right.
Yeah.
All the best.
All
Keep
right.
me in
Yeah.
mind, you
Likewise.
know.
All
Keep me
right.
in mind. Okay.
Take care.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Cool.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
All the best. All the best, brother.
All right. I'll say bye.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.